As many of you know, Super Mario 64 has 5 main categories: 120, 70, 16, 1, and 0. Unsurprisingly, the most popular of these 5 are 120 and 16, the 100% and the easiest any percent category. 16 alone has over 7,000 runs, with 120 having over 1,000. Some of you may also know about 70 star, the category where BOJs are banned. A little less popular, but just as impressive. And then there's 0 and 1 star, the true any percent categories and the least ranked categories out of them all. 0 star doesn't even have 5% of the total submissions 16 star has. And it's for a good reason. 0 and 1 star have arguably the largest learning curve out of any category. And there was a moment where 0 star, the any percent of Mario was so difficult, it was impossible for any new runners to enter or old runners to improve. This could have stopped the growth of any percent right in its tracks, but it didn't. And it was all thanks to a crazy, dedicated, persistent runner named Wara. Kigakiku Wara, better known as Wara, is a speedrunner from Japan who started speedrunning Mario 64 in 2018. 2018 was an interesting year with the legendary 15, 24, and 16 star being broken, the first 0 star world record in 3 years, and the 120 star world record at a 139. And among these runs, Wara's first recorded run was a 10x DDD Skip run with a time of 10:33. The first run of this category, and a time good enough to be 9th place to this day. But wait, what is 10x DDD Skip, and why didn't he do a main category first? Well, this is where Wara starts to deviate from a normal speedrunner. Wara loves incredibly complicated tricks, and he was pulled to one in particular: DDD Skip. DDD Skip is done after side backwards long jump, also known as SBLJ, a BOJ in the basement that builds speed. DDD Skip is the main trick in 0 star in order to beat the game with 0 stars, and hence the category name. DDD Skip bypasses the need to get a star in Dire Dire Docks that pushes back the portal to access Fire Sea by accessing it directly, and after completing Fire Sea, the player can go upstairs to the upper levels and perform the regular 2 BLJs and complete the game with 0 stars. Without DDD Skip, you are forced to at least get 1 star, and that star being the star in DDD. Hence the category of 1 star. So if there's a way to beat the game with 0 stars, the true any percent, why does 1 star, a category slower than 0 and obtains an extra star, even exist? Well, it's because DDD Skip is incredibly hard. The movement, knowledge, and reactions required for DDD Skip are so difficult and precise that people opt for the much easier category of 1 star when doing any percent. But it looks like Wara decided he was up for the task. And with such a large important task where there are barely any runners, where do you even start? And back in 2018, Wara quickly discovered the answer was, well, nowhere. See, in the earlier days of 0 star, people didn't really understand why DDD Skip worked. Why would Mario sometimes go through this portal and sometimes not? Runners just knew that if Mario goes fast enough, he'll sometimes clip through. But most of the time Mario wouldn't. This meant 90% of runs would die at DDD Skip, and 2 seemingly similar attempts would fail, simply due to luck. This meant no resources and no guides on ways to consistently do this trick. No one even knew the mechanics of it, and world record holders weren't really much better off. They could tell you how to do 1 star, but when it came to 0 star, it was mostly just get lucky. And many runners couldn't even be bothered to test every possible idea to see if any of them worked, since it seemed like the trick was RNG. And remember how I said 1 star was a much easier category? Well, it's only easier in comparison. The SBLJ required is still incredibly hard. SBLJ is like a normal BLJ, but instead of having the entire stair to do attempts on, you only have the corner of this 1 stair to build speed on. It's not uncommon for many runners to not even be able to do SBLJ and quit 1 star, never getting to 0 star. So that meant in 0 star, this SBLJ combined with DDD Skip made the category nearly impossible. But it looks like Wara saw this as a challenge. Where most saw an insurmountable mountain, he saw an opportunity to do what others couldn't and leave his mark on the entire category. So Wara started practicing DDD Skip, and in 2019 with a Super Mario Sunshine runner named Galapagos, created a site called the DDD Skip Wiki. This was a Japanese wiki site that documented everything they knew about this trick. This site was groundbreaking, and its importance in Zero Star can't be understated. Not only were they helping create a way to consistently do DDD Skip, they were doing it in public and allowing anyone to learn how to do it. All the knowledge that before could have been locked behind private discords in the minds of top rungers was now in the public. Anything that was thought to feel right to do was verified through their testing. And with this, they found countless setups for building speed, for skipping the portal, and even SBLJ. A category in which the barrier of entry was complete luck, they had just lowered to knowledge. Of course, the trick was still incredibly hard, but it was at least learnable, and most importantly, it was understood. They had made a luck-based trick into a skill-based one. And this research was so important that it kickstarted a new generation of Zero Star runners in 2020, a generation even I was a part of. After practicing, researching, and teaching DDD Skip for years, Wara started grinding Zero Star. During his researching phase, he was occasionally doing runs and even got a 749, a respectable time even for today. But the most elusive barrier for Zero Star is sub 7 minutes, the last minute barrier for rungers. And so Wara started his journey, run after run, improvement after improvement, and after 3 years from starting the DDD Skip wiki, he achieved a 659. He had not only proven his research was working, but he had also proven he was a skilled player as well. After this milestone, his progress would slow down, but it wouldn't stop. And in 2023, he achieved a 645 in Zero Star, an incredible time placing him 13th on the leaderboards to this day. Now, revolutionizing and revitalizing an entire category could be one's entire legacy, and honestly, this video could just end here. Wara, along with Galapagos, had made what could be considered one of the biggest contributions to the Zero Star category, but Wara knew he could do more. He was a great player, and wasn't gonna just stop at this wiki. Wara now had a PhD in DDD Skip, but Wara was more than just a DDD Skip researcher. And so he decided to enter the single star scene. He was going to use what he learned from creating that wiki to destroy records. In Rainbow Ride, this star is called Tricky Triangles. The main way to get this star is by making this triple jump wall kick, just barely making this long jump, and pressing this switch to climb up and complete the star. There are slight variations on this, with most notable being this wall kick after the button press to get the star, which the single star world record uses. But Wara was about to do something you could never predict. This not only shattered the existing world record, but it was completely unexpected. The only places BLJ was known in was the 120 star task. He had just used his knowledge from DDD Skip in Zero Star to do a trick that the most popular task of the game had done. The moving floor, the precise long jump, and the ability to even get enough speed to make the gap made this task only until Wara decided to try it. Now that Wara had shown his ability to do insane strats, he was now going to do other stars. Maybe another SBLJ in a separate stage? After all, if anyone could do any SBLJ task tricks, Wara just proved he was the one to do them. But his next grind wouldn't involve SBLJ, or DDD Skip, or really anything he had learned. It involved a completely unrelated topic, that being wall kicks. When Mario is going to wall kick on a wall, the game has to figure out which wall to wall kick off of. Usually this is correct and he does what is expected, but if you're precise enough in between two walls, you can set Mario's position in such a way where the wall Mario tries to wall kick off of is completely different from what you expected. When that happens, you get this really weird behavior, a wall kick that shouldn't be possible. So where was Wara going to use this weird knowledge? Turns out, in TikTok Clock. These wall kicks were known to be possible and even completed before in a previous single star world record. This record was set by Zaya, a Japanese runner with 10 plus years of playing the game whose legendary status cannot be stated in a single sentence. Yet Wara had just bested this 10 plus year veteran, and within a 4-day span, broke and lowered the record to a 7.69. But for Wara, that wasn't just all. Right above the star, there's an extra star called the Pit and the Pendulums, and if he can just hit those wall kicks again, and complete the rest of the stage without failing, he could destroy the world record. With this strat, he could possibly get even a sub 9, something no one else had done. The only problem? Those 2 wall kicks are incredibly precise. Just to get the first world record took him months, and this longer star required him to not only get the wall kicks, but get the movement right after. And this would prove to be a curse for Wara. But he knew he had conquered the trick before, so how different could this be? For the next 2 months, he grinded this star, and sometimes getting tantalizing close to the record, but never being able to actually complete it. Until one day. These 2 records took a total of 8 months to achieve, and to this day, his Pit and the Pendulum's 8.97 is still the world record for this star. Wara is still active in the community, but has stepped back from the insane things he once did. There's much more I could go on about with Wara. His theory crafting for RTA could really be an entirely different video on its own. Since he's not active now, we can really only hope that in the future, Wara decides to realize these theories, start another grind, or help revolutionize another category. A skilled runner in single starring, arguably the largest contributor to Zero Star, Wara's journey from a beginner to becoming the most knowledgeable person in DDD Skip, and then pivoting to single star world records, demonstrates that pivoting isn't just possible, but incredibly rewarding. His role in Zero Star didn't hinder his accomplishments beyond it. Instead, he used what he learned about learning and showed everyone who thought he could only excel in DDD Skip that they were actually wrong. He achieved incredible feats through perseverance, determination, and motivation. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the description, there are links to Wara's Twitch, Twitter, and the DDD Skip wiki, so make sure to check all those out. And if you liked the video, drop a like or maybe sub, and it would help me out a lot and show Wara's story to more people. But if you're hesitant on doing that, try watching this other video about Miko, a runner who made speedrunning into art. Or if you're interested in Zero Star itself, the entire Zero Star progression for my friend Trey Bordo is on his channel, and Poke is even in that video. And with that, I'll see you guys next time, and remember, become legend.